Hello and welcome to the Green Screen Producer channel, and this is a review of a Mini DVR808 car keychain micro camera from Banggood.com, and the product code is SKU038958. It's only £4.57 with free delivery worldwide. Now, this is one of a number of this series of video cameras, and it's actually, I think, the basic one, but what would you expect for £4.57? The video size is 720 by 480 pixels at 30 frames a second, and the audio is 16K 16-bit mono. It also does stills, which are 1280 by 1024 at 72 dpi. So, carrying on from our opening and first impressions video, which you can see by clicking on the link just here, you will now have the chance to see how we got on with this particular camera. Comes in the box, which has a rather intriguing little magnetic catch to open and close it. Inside it's supplied with a mini USB charger lead. It doesn't come with a memory card as standard, so you do have to provide your own mini SD, well, it's a micro SD in actual fact, and I've got one here which is a 4 gig. It's only a class 4, but as it's only standard definition video, it's not really an issue. So, the first thing to do is to put the card into the camera, and on the side here you'll see first of all that there's a USB socket there for you to recharge the camera from a computer. This little hole here is to reset the camera should it ever need resetting, and there's your slot for the memory card. A little bit tricky this, because the first time I tried to put one in, I actually misaligned it and had to slightly prise this apart and get in there with a pair of tweezers to get the card back out again. But basically, you've got the connections with your memory card that way up, and this is the button side up, and you just put it in very carefully, and you'll need a long nail, fingernail, and you'll hear it click into place. So that's it inside, all ready to go. There are only 2 buttons on this camera. One is a power on off, which is here, and the other one at the top is to either take stills or start and stop the video recording, and there's also a little yellow LED there. So first of all, to turn it on, you press and hold the bottom button until the yellow light comes on. Flashes a couple of times there, and it's come on and it's nice and solid. Now, to start recording video, you press and hold the top button for a few seconds until it flashes 3 times, and then the light goes out and you're now actually recording. To stop recording video, you press that same button again once very quickly, and again it flashes 3 times, and that means it's now in standby mode. To actually take a photograph with this, and I say they're 1280 by 1024 at 72 dpi, you just press and hold, press and quickly release the top button, and you'll see the light goes out and then comes back on again, and that's it, it's taken a picture. So once again, press that top button once quickly and let go, light goes out, light comes on. Not quite sure where these are aimed at myself. I think it's a fun thing, great for the kids to have their own first little video camera. Probably another application which would be good is if you have a little radio controlled helicopter, something like a Hudson or something like that, very light little thing, you could take the plastic cover off of this. It weighs 18 grams as it is, but you take all the plastic off and just maybe mount it on with Velcro, and I should imagine you could get quite a bit of fun flying a little mini helicopter around. The thing it does do is it records in AVI format, not the H.264 of high definition. So file size, not too bad, but I'm not sure what to make of the video. As I say, as a fun thing, it's great. The lens is just there, and next to it is the microphone input. Now the lens on this, unlike a lot of the point of view cameras such as GoPros and Intovas and ISOs, like that sort of thing, which are very wide, this has quite a narrow angle, and it's extremely difficult to actually guess where you are pointing the camera at. As you'll see on the sample videos in a moment, I spent a lot of the time actually pointing at the floor, so didn't really get very far, but when I did get it right, it was okay. You know, it's comparable with DV, maybe a little less than DV, but again, I come back to the price, £4.57. What do you really want from a camera that's £4.57 including delivery? So, let's go and have a little look at videos and stills. The memory card that you can put in this, by the way, you can put into up to 32 gigs, but they're not included, but they're so cheap now, and you can get away with a fairly slow card, so they'll be very, very cheap. It's got a 170 milliampere hour, 3.7 volt LiPo battery as well, so charging doesn't take a great deal of time. Let's go and have a look at some of the video and stills I've shot with this now then, and I'll let you see what to make of it. Now I'm going to keep the resolution of this video relative to the actual review part, which is at 720p. The actual video here shot is 720 by 480 at 30 frames a second. One thing you'll notice is at the bottom in yellow is a time and date stamp. Now there's a little text file that you can edit in Notepad or something like that when you first get the camera, and I think if you don't put anything there at all, it will actually not put a time and date in, but I haven't really tried that yet. It's very difficult to frame shots with this camera, and it's so tiny that any movement is magnified tremendously. A lot of pointing at the floor, but I think for what it is and the price you're paying, you shouldn't expect too much. It does overload very easily on bright subjects as well, as you can see on the petals of these flowers. Again, hard to know exactly where you're pointing, but I think, you know, reasonable quality. Years ago people would have killed for this sort of quality. An interesting thing with this particular shot is that there's a drastic colour balance change as I tilt the camera down, just there. Don't quite know why it did that, but rather strange. Again, trying to frame shots with this camera without any form of viewfinder is very difficult. And there's a shot from the car. You'll notice that there's none of the portholing or fisheye distortion that you get with the usual point of view cameras, because it is a very narrow angle lens. Now let's have a look at some of the stills we've taken now as well. They come out at 1280 by 1024 pixels, 720 dpi. Again, hard to frame, a lot of pointing at the floor, but that's not too bad. And some of the pictures are a little bit out of focus when you get too close. So overall, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the review of this little camera. I think for the price, it's a fun thing to have. So please comment, rate and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. But for now, goodbye.